Good morning. So, I want to talk about how heaven on earth is a mindset. It's a perspective. It is attainable in this lifetime. It is attainable through spiritual work, through your own purification, through choosing your perspective, through your own ability and capability of changing your programming and reprogramming your own mind into seeing and focusing what um, on the things that reinforce the feeling of and the emotion and the feeling and the things that uh, that strengthen your belief in heaven on earth. And each and every one of us has the ability within us to do this within our lifetime. I want to show you where I'm sitting. So this is where I'm sitting. I'm not going to turn the camera because I have it set up. Well, maybe I will a little bit. I'll do a full round. Okay, so this video is inspired. I got a message, a couple of messages from on a previous video that I did. I was sitting out here on the side of the mountain. There were bombs going off in the background, and somebody wrote, "How could you be so calm when there's bombs going off in the background?" So first, I'd like to say that when you grow up in these areas, that isn't something that is so, it's something that you can kind of get used to because it's you hear it often. And and the bombs that go off here up in the north, they typically are just shot over the border, and they land either in fields, or they're blown up in the air. And right now all of the northern border has been evacuated, so all of the bombs that are coming in are pretty much duds. They're just like warning, or kind of, there to make a statement. So I understand this. And besides that, there's so many people that are now living in hell on earth. And there is a possibility of living in heaven on earth, no matter what the outside circumstances are, because it doesn't make, it's like if I go down into a living hell and I'm constantly worried about it, and oh no, and this is going on and that is going on, and I'm in this fluster, then I'm living that, and I'm adding power to that state of mind. I'm adding power to the war. I am allowing the war to determine my state of mind. I am allowing something outside of me determine now it's not that I'm disconnected and I don't understand what's going on, and I can feel the emotion all the way to the center of it, but I choose. I can go in and I can feel it, and I have felt it, and I know what is going on, but I choose to hold myself separate from it. If it comes to my doorstep, of course I'm going to, deal with it when it comes. And will I protect myself and my children? Of course. Will I um even then, instinct, I love life. I want to live life. I want everyone to be able to live life. It's not like I am oblivious and don't feel. But there is a state of heaven on earth, regardless of outside circumstances. There is a presence to be held. So I can hold this vibration of heaven on earth and this calmness, which in return allows others to feel that calm within all of the emotions that are going all over the place with people nowadays in the world. What's going on all over the world? It's not just here. It's here, it's in Ukraine, it's in Russia, it's all over Europe, it's all over the Middle East, it's all over America, with what's going on in America now. And everywhere, it seems like all of the old is falling away. And the way for it to fall away is in like a big, there has to be like a big shakeup. And it seems like all of the old dinosaur systems have begun to implode, because the dinosaur systems were built on somebody at the top controlling all of the people in the bottom, right? Controlling knowledge, controlling education, controlling society, controlling monetary. And now, in these last few tens of years, there's been a globalization going on. Everything has been expanded with the internet. It connects everybody and the money and everything around the world. People are beginning to get their own knowledge. People are beginning to understand. And in addition to this, there is something energetically going on in the world. There are portals that are opening, and people that are light workers are finding each other, and dark workers are finding each other. The everything seems to be coming into to light and dark. The old systems, the old dinosaur systems, seem to be falling apart and shaking. And what happens when everything is falling apart and shaking is that those that are sitting on top of this shaking system that they have going on are trying to grasp and trying to hold it together and trying to force it together, and they're using old world systems to try to hold it together. So systems of war, creating fear in the people, trying to hold on to the money, trying to hold on to the educational system, and not allow uh, uh, further knowledge to come in, not allow people to have their own opinions. It's just like in China, closing off education to people, or in the States, TikTok is all of a sudden you're not allowed to get in TikTok, or the information is starting to it's like in the States you're spoon fed information, and what information is, you don't get the big picture. You can't get the big picture without going out and actually coming from a state of mind of coming from the place of the planet, the place of God, the place of the all, the place of your own inner being, and disconnecting completely from the matrix and from the systems and from the dinosaur. You can't see the system from within the system. You can't. It's like a fish swimming in water doesn't know that they're in water. They have no idea what water is because they're in water. When you remove yourself from the system and you're looking in from the God perspective, from a different perspective, you can see that the system is man-made. You can see the shaking of the system. You can see the faultyhood of the system. You can see that the system has been an evolution for thousands of years, and it is constantly changing throughout years. If you look back in the days of Rome, it was the biggest, strongest empire. And the people that lived in the twilight days of the Roman Empire imagined that it would never fall, it could never move. And just like you saw that implode in on itself, that is history repeating itself. Things that come completely out of control and that are out of sync with nature, because having man on top, controlling other man and controlling other man's education, means, way of being, consensus of the way that you interact with people, what is allowed, what isn't allowed. We are all conformed to society. We are all living in a consensus, even using a language. Every single word has meaning attached to it. So even using a language is confining our being. And there is no other way, because we have to be conformed in order to even come into adulthood. And then we start shedding and going through the spiritual awakening and realizing ourselves. But imagine that this big dinosaur of a being, the matrix, the society way of being, has been evolutionizing for 2,000 years, is completely disconnected us from our food, from nature. I mean, even our shoes, We are walking around with a piece of rubber separating us from the land that we eat from, the land that supports us. We are separating ourselves from the animals. We're separating ourselves from the seasons. We're separating ourselves from the food. When we go out and get food, we don't see the animal's pain in that package. We get it all packaged up nicely. We don't see where it comes from. We don't see the pain. We don't see, we are, it's like we have from the Matrix something over our eyes and that we don't see anymore because we were raised into it from it. And what we believe and see as the norm is so far disconnected from nature that the whole system is shaking now, because you cannot be out of sync with nature without it shaking. It's you can see that there's rules on rules on rules on rules on rules on rules, and some of the rules are contradicting each other, and there's so many rules that people are walking around like this, afraid of breaking rules, and they don't realize that they are in a prison. Not only are they in a prison that society created, but they're in their own mind's prison, because they are taking society's truth to be the ultimate truth, and it is separate from their inner truth, which is in sync with nature. When you go inwardly, your inner being is in sync with the birds and the bees. Your inner being wants to see the birds and the bees and the flowers and the weeds, and understand that everything, all of life is connected. Everything is connected. Our life is dependent on this. So our loving the insects and the bees is our loving ourselves. We cannot exist without the bees. We cannot exist without the flowers. Everything is dependent on everything else. And when we're so far out of whack with nature, things like wars happen. That is the people sitting on top, and controlling the masses and creating fear-based. And think about it. I have 3 Facebook friends that are my Facebook friends that I saw put up notifications that they lost their sons. 3. And those are just the ones that I saw. Um, that these are people that are my age around, that their children went out and were murdered in this war. For what? They're out there fighting other children, other people's children. That is a whole generation of lost life, of lost potential. For what? To protect this land? This land doesn't need protected. This land belongs to everyone. We are just visitors here. How does somebody on top of either side have any right? And now you can say, well, if they don't go out and fight, then who's going to fight? And then we'll all be, I know all of it. I hear it from my kids. I hear it from my parents. I hear it from society. I hear it from the surroundings. I hear it from comments. I hear it from what you can't live in La La Land. Yes, I can live in sync with nature. It doesn't, just because I can pull myself into alignment with nature and say all of that, if I'm sitting strong in my belief and in my understanding that heaven is on earth, we are living in heaven and earth. We are the ones that are lost. We don't understand that this is heaven on earth. We were given heaven, and we were given these bodies, and we were given these vessels to come into this existence and be creators and live this magnificent life. And we were given fruit from trees that grow naturally. Right there, I'm looking at a tree that I pick fruit from, and it's just growing on the side of the mountain, and the flowers and the bees and everything is in perfect harmony with everything else. And we are living in, if we take out the greed, and we take out the fear, and we take out the controlling, or think about people that are put on top and they're sending out other people's children to die for some kind of cause, for controlling land, for controlling stuff. It's all because we're disconnected from God. We don't understand who we are. Because if you understood who you were, and you're sitting on top of a nation, You know, this is just this existence is this 3D existence is just like a poop in time. It's just like that's it. And if you knew who you are and that you are eternal and that this is an experience, you would be so busy making your experience magnificent that you wouldn't be trying to hoard things in this existence, trying to collect stuff, get stuff. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with stuff, but that is not the purpose of existence. Having a name across your shirt, or a purse that cost you $1,000 is not the meaning of existence. You know, it gives you like a cheap thrill, but it isn't that inner satisfaction that you get from your connection to nature and your connection to the all. So living in La La Land, you're creating your own um, heaven on earth is disconnecting yourself from the consensus and the matrix and the everybody is living like in this matrix ball. It's like this existence that was made up by people and evolved for thousands and thousands of years. It's like this ball of you have to be this way and you have to do this way and you have to have this and you have to and you live under this under the and you're constantly living under confinement and constraints and what you need to have and what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable, and all of these beliefs that were created over thousands of years. When you disconnect yourself and purify your mind, then all of a sudden you come into the heaven on earth realm and you see that we are living in heaven on earth. It's where you decide to put your focus. It's disconnecting from all of the programming and the beliefs that you were given and that were handed down to you that weren't your choice, that you didn't think of yourself, that you didn't put into your belief system. And then you can look from a higher point of view and you look in on society and you can kind of see it as like this ball. It's almost like a pressure ball. And people are running off and killing others and getting killed and going through these deep traumas. And in my understanding, everything is exactly as it is. Everything is exactly as it is for a reason, and there is a purpose in it all. And I guess that you have to get away from heaven to understand that there is heaven. And I guess that everybody has to evolve in their own way, and everybody has to realize this on their own. Because coming into heaven, coming back to heaven, you guys go on, go on, go on. But I put my phone here on a stand, and they're both standing next to it, and I'm like, they're and so by purifying our own thoughts and purifying our own words and seeing where these misbeliefs are, we can bring ourselves into the perception of just as seeing that everything is as perfect exactly as it is. And when you disconnect from the it's not disconnect from the 3D realm, because this existence is in the 3D realm, but when you disconnect from the bubble of consciousness, which is living in fear-based, and you understand that you are this higher being, and you come into this higher realm and this understanding that everything is perfect, and you start looking through the eyes and the perspective, and you live in this higher vibrational emotion, and you see the birds and you see the bees and you see that everything is in perfect harmony, that what is out of harmony is thinking that we're not in harmony. That is, the mindset of war is falsity. It is a mindset that we are these 3D beings, that we have to fight over land. The land doesn't belong to anybody. We're like just like a snap of fingers. You can go and buy a piece of property. Okay, it'll give you security during this lifetime, but it also holds you down during this lifetime. Not that I want a piece of property that I can live on, that I can feel secure on. That's part of my manifestation process. But so you do have to work through the avenues of the consensus and learn how to maneuver through the matrix. But as you are above the matrix, you can look in, and then you become the ultimate manifester. But it's not allowing the matrix to take your mind and your calm. Because this all started with those messages that I got, like, how can you stay calm when there's explosions going on in the background, right? But calmness is it's not hiding from what is going on. It is choosing your mindset, not allowing the matrix to control your own mindset. I can sit here in heaven on earth and other people can be in hell. And me going down into their hell with them does not serve any kind of purpose other than me saying, oh, look at me, I am feeling hell along with these persons, so I'm a good person. The way that I look at it is that I am holding this space. If everybody comes into my space, earth becomes heaven. And I can hold that vibration, the vibration of beauty is everywhere. And I can hold the vibration of being in sync with the planet, and I can allow others to see what that vibration looks like, because there are so few people that have the strength of mind to pull themselves out of the consensus, because it's an energy. Imagine that you come into a room where everybody is in this one state of mind, and everybody is speaking that state of mind, and they're in that state of mind, and their energy field is full of that state of mind. That is what they are vibrating out of them. And you come into this energy vibration. Let's say you go into a closed room with 20 people that are all thinking these same thoughts, and they're all in this tunnel vision. They're all thinking of the horrors and how could you be that? And they're all worked up, and you come in and imagine the strength of mind that you have to have not to be pulled down into those thought patterns, but they don't serve you. If in your outer extremity right now, there isn't somebody here that with a knife, or there isn't a lion right here waiting to eat me, then there is no reason and no purpose in me going into that mindset. It's exactly the opposite. If I can hold this higher mindset and this higher vibration, then maybe I can show others that even with all of the external circumstances that are going on in the world, I can still hold the vibration of heaven on earth, and I can pull others to a higher vibration, and I can pull others out of that mindset. Because when you are in that mindset, you're adding power, you're adding your own personal power to that power, to the war power, to the power of what's going on with those bombs over there. I don't want to be in that mindset. I don't want to add my own personal power to that power. It's adding my power to the consensus. If there are millions of people thinking one specific thought and all vibrating the same thought, I mean, think about like Christmas Day. Whether you celebrate Christmas or don't celebrate Christmas, you can feel the energy of Christmas all around you. It's like this uplifted holiday feeling. You can feel it because everybody around you in all of the houses are emitting that vibration. What if you took every day and you emitted that vibration? There wouldn't be wars. There wouldn't be need for wars. And if the out of norm were the psychopaths that sit on top of countries and send other people's children out to if all of the children said, no, I have love in my heart, I'm not going out, and everybody just dropped everybody came into the mindset of heaven on earth, then there wouldn't be somebody on the top. There would be nothing to control. So I feel like I am holding space. I'm holding that vibration. I'm holding the door to heaven on earth open for others to peek in and see that there are other ways of existing. And you can say that it's dangerous, it's la la land. You can say whatever you want. I feel like it's exactly the opposite. The mindset of the war is the dangerous mindset. Bringing myself out of it and holding space. And you can't be in it and bring yourself out of it at the same time. You can be out of it and you can see it, and you can know, as an empath, you can know what it feels like, and you can go all the way down into other people's hell with holding yourself above. Emotionally, you can know what's going on. You can understand what's going on. You can see what's going on. But there is no use in me adding my emotional power to that. It's exactly the opposite. There is so much need for us to rise above it and to hold our vibration in a place where those that are down in that hell on earth can see that there is a different option, that you can hold the calmness, that you can be calm, that you can hold the vibration of heaven on earth as horrific things around you are going on. You can't control other people's experience. They can control their own experience. You can give them inspiration. You can show them the way. You can light the path. You can hold the door open. You can hold the space. You can rise, make your own vibration rise so that the vibration that is coming out of you and the light vibration is so much stronger. The vibration of love is the when you come into the vibration of love, you have the power of the universe behind you. Everything in the universe is the language of the universe is love. So when you bring your vibration in sync with the universe and you are in vibration of love, everything around you, you are in sync with everything around you, and you have the power that creates worlds within you. Whereas the vibration of lack, the vibration of fear, the vibration of we have to go out, and all of those low vibrations are very dense vibrations. They are in the physical world. They are of the meat body, and they are a place of lack, and they're in this, as you can see it, they're closed off. They close you off from the universe because the universe is love, pure light, love. And when you are in this mode, you are creating from a place of lack. You're creating only in the physical world, right? You're moving matter that was already created around, instead of going into the higher planes and creating from the place that creates worlds, right? Instead of creating from the energetic field, you're moving matter around, which is the slowest and most energy expensive way to create things, right? So imagine if you want to move this rock from here to there. So it's the difference of coming with my hands and trying to move it, or going up into the higher realms and thinking, okay, how can I move this rock? Okay, let me get a tractor and then see, that's a little bit of a difference. It's still creating in the physical plane, but it's a little bit of a difference, right? But then you can even come up onto a higher plane. You can say, okay, wait a minute. You can create worlds. I'm not even going to get into it, but you can create worlds when you start learning how to create from the energy field, and when you start creating from a love field, which is the language of the world. So there is no reason, there is no purpose, there is no power in me adding my power to the power of the consensus, which is the low vibrational war, murder, children being blown up, all of those things that I got in my messages. It's not that I'm oblivious to it. I understand it. I hear it from my children. I hear it from my parents. I say, all the world around me is in that state of mind. And I understand that state of mind. I lived in that state of mind for the majority of my life. So I understand that state of mind. I have come to teach a different state of mind, the state of mind of going through the portal, coming up into the ethers and living from a place of love and holding that space for whoever wants to join me. It's way more important for me to hold the space of love and to hold that higher vibration than for me to get down into the hell on earth with all of the majority of society that is already there. So it's exiting the matrix and showing a different way of living, and living a life that is love-based and not fear-based, and holding that space for all of those who want to come and join in the light life and in the light line and in the essence of love and the essence of God and the essence of everything that is all around us. So we are living in heaven on earth, all around us all the time. If we are in hell, it's all in our perspective. We can move our perspective into seeing what and this connects to the video that I did earlier about manifesting, and we can begin to see what reinforces the experience of living in heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is all around us. It is a choice. Hell on earth is all around us, and it is a choice. We get to choose. We are creators. We are manifestors. We are love. We are of love. Thank you.